Right at the back.
Apparently there are webisodes that are coming out at some point that have to do with like resistance against asylum. Are you involved in any of those episodes?
I'm not actually. The webisodes are a brilliant idea. They chart characters who don't have much airplay in the canon that comes out on television. All of their stories are totally intricately related to everything that does happen in the episodes. So I wasn't, but they were filming at the same time, and I do remember there was a bit very early on when they were filming the webisodes, when I'm walking back to across the set, someone goes, "Shh, quiet please, we're filming, and we're filming on our set." And I was like, "Your set? Hello, thought it was all our set." Yeah, they're going to be great, and they follow the story, I think, initially of Duck and his wife, and what happens to them.
What do you think of season 3's commentary on modern day politics, as Battlestar Galactica has a tendency to comment on modern day events?
It's not really just season 3. I mean, it's the whole show, really. And I think that, we're just trying to get you to think about it. Really, there was never ever any idea that, Baltar would be, Baltar's really George Bush, because he really isn't. He's smarter. But it's still a disaster. I mean, God forbid something like that becomes your president. Christ. It's not good. But what we're trying to do is, I think, in some way, people make a lot of headway about, the monotheists are the, genocidal maniac killers, and the polytheists are these, etc., etc. I think we're really trying to get you to look at faith and address what it means. And just my own personal standpoint is, I can't believe if there is a God, he wants me to go kill somebody else because they've got a different religion, or they practice something differently. And so it's trying to get you to think deeper, below the level, the subversive level of what's going on, rather than, nothing is to be taken at face value, essentially, apart from that I'm very sexy.
That's true. I agree.
Yeah, I think, let me see, has Dean Stockwell joined us already? Yeah. Okay, so Dean's there. Lucy and I end up in a kind of liaison. It's interesting. And there's a member of the cast from Alias who joins us briefly. And still we've got like another 10 episodes to go. So I know that they are thinking of bringing in a few more names and people to pepper and spice our pot. And we're filming in British Columbia, so maybe you know what that means. That's it.
When they gave you the script for the jumps at the end of season 2, had they already worked out everything that happened between, or did they say, no, we know which things have gone bad for Baltar? And also, I read online that you got hung over to the taping that day.
No, that was just good acting. There's two things, Ron, the people who write this show, Ron Moore and David Icke, they're both political science majors, and they are super, super smart. And they have a writing staff, again, that is super smart, has a real integrity about keeping the program tight. And this is then enforced by some wonderful directors. But as Ron says to me, there's only so much that he can know. Actually, to kind of like, if he tied it up like in ribbons, like he knows how it's going to be, that would actually change the fun from him writing it. Sometimes he's like on set, goes, "Oh, I had another person saying, man, you're just pulling these ideas out of your, wherever." And he's like, "Of course I am. That's what writers do. That's you have to think about these things." So they set something up, and there's, I would say, maybe like 40% is like still in the ether for us to work out and hone. And nothing comes in like it's 100%, oh, this is going to happen, and this, and then this, and then this. Because that would actually destroy the creative process. I forgot the second part of your question.
Were you hungover for those?
Oh, was I hungover? No, I wasn't. And that's basically, I said to Ron and David when I became president, I went, listen, I want my administration to be different to Rosalind's, but I don't want my administration to be different just because there's no people in my administration. And there were no people in my administration. It was just me and these two girls. So I felt that. But all of this stuff about, you know, being sky high and like popping pills and living this debauched kind of lifestyle was my idea, really, because I felt like to actually sit there with a pen and like look like I might be doing something really made me look like an idiot, in the sense of like, what's he doing? This bloke is like, he's not governing or doing anything. So I wanted to show that, like, in some way, if he had wanted to or something, there were things that he could do, but it was kind of like a decision. And I think, yeah, because he's a very childish, naive, narcissistic individual, he really blames some of the people in the sense of these workers' riots that are going on. And he's like, you know, we've been running for our lives for like a year, we've almost been annihilated. Everybody wanted to come down on the planet, and now you're all bitching about like it's raining. Like, get with the program. And when was the last silent attack? And this is for something Baltar, you know, really believes, because he feels himself totally diametrically opposed to Rosalind. He understands that she's obviously a far better politician and probably a far better person. But she's a person who would like, if you voted her, she wouldn't be doing your policies. She does what she thinks is right. And Baltar, for the first time in his life, is somebody who feels, you know, the guilt on his shoulders of everything that he's done. He's like, finally the people want to do something and I can facilitate that. It just happens to be a disaster. So no, I wasn't drunk, or whatever, or particularly hungover. I find that in that sense, you need a lot of energy to be exhausted, to play exhausted. And if you are actually exhausted, you can't fire up your cylinders in the right way to portray it. And on that level, no, that wouldn't have been particularly helpful.